Hello. In this video, we will focus on understanding what the basics of nanotechnology is and what nanoparticles exactly are all about. When we speak about nanotechnology, we need to understand that nanotechnology is one of the most upcoming areas when you see in biological, physical, and chemical sciences, because it's an amalgamation of all these three fields of science. It's very important for us to remember that whenever you're talking about function or property of a particular compound, it's completely dependent on its structure. Structure plays a very important role in deducing the way a particle is going to behave. Same thing applies to nanoparticles as well. Whenever we speak about nanoscience and nanotechnology, we cannot forget the name of one of the great physicists, Richard Feynman, who had made this statement: there is plenty of room at the bottom. This was to indicate that when you reduce the particles in their size, the way that these particles behave is very different from the original behavior in their normal sizes. So for example, the way actual gold would behave, the properties that gold would have, is very different from the properties or the functions that nano-sized gold particles would have. Same thing applies for silver, copper, or any kind of particles which are in the size range which measures in nanoscale. Let me tell you that one of the simplest definition of defining nanotechnology is wherein you're dealing with the design, characterization, production, application of structures, devices, systems by controlled manipulation of size and shape at the nanometer scale. Now this could be at the atomic, molecular, as well as macromolecular scale. It produces structures, devices, and systems with at least one novel or superior characteristic or property. Now what does this mean? It is very obvious that I would not want to produce nanoparticles of silver until and unless it is giving me some kind of beneficial property or beneficial characteristic. Whole silver may not have medicinal properties, but nano silver surely shows amazing medicinal properties. So until and unless I see some kind of a superior characteristic at the nanoscale, I would not waste my time and efforts in generating nanoparticles. When we speak about nanotechnology, it's very important to understand that the word nano has come from a Greek word which means extremely small. Nanoparticles are neither visible to the naked eye nor by light microscopes. Also, you cannot visualize it. If you want to visualize nanoparticles, you may have to make use of high-end microscopic techniques like an electron microscope. You have already seen some of the introduction videos which were put in this course earlier. So now you know that what's the scope that nanotechnology exactly has. Please understand that the unit nanometer is equivalent to 10 raised to minus 9 meters, which means a nanometer is 1,000 millionth of a meter. So please understand that the acceptance of a nanoscale size for nanotechnological functions is from 100 nanometers down to the size of atoms, because it is at this scale that the properties of materials can be very different from those at the larger scale. So अगर आपको किसी चीज को नैनो पार्टिकल के नाम से रेफर करना है, तो उस पार्टिकल का साइज 100 नैनोमीटर से कम होना चाहिए. 100 नैनोमीटर से ऊपर अगर उस पार्टिकल का साइज रहा, तो उसके फंक्शंस और प्रॉपर्टीज बिल्कुल होल पार्टिकल की तरह ही होंगे. If you are looking for some unique characteristics, the size has to be below 100 nanometers. So that has to be your cutoff point to refer to anything as a nanoparticle. Please understand that nanoparticles have been used since a very long period of time. Since many decades, we have been making use of this to make, computer chips, or even for, day-to-day purposes like in churches, you would have seen different colored glasses. Let me tell you that they give out different colors because of the kind of nanoparticles that have been coated on them. Nanoparticles have optical properties, thermal properties, mechanical properties, physical properties, catalytic properties as well. And these properties that nanoparticles have differ from the properties that the whole particle would have. So some of the nanoparticles, when they are exposed to a specific wavelength of light, the light that they reflect back is of a specific color. So such nanoparticles have been utilized to coat on the glasses in the church to make a pattern of different colors, which you would have seen whenever you have visited a church. So in this unit, we will be discussing about how do you synthesize, how do you characterize, how do you produce nanoparticles using different methods, and what are the applications of these nanoparticles. That's going to be one of the major focus which we are going to have when we deal with this unit. Let me tell you that nanoparticles are of different types. There are quantum dots, nanoclusters, nanocrystals, nanowires, dendrimers, nanotubes, fullerenes. These are all different types of nanoparticles on the basis of the shape and size that they possess. We will not be discussing each of them in details, but we will surely be coming across some of these types when we discuss their applications. In this unit, we will be seeing how nanoparticles are synthesized and what are the variety of applications where nanoparticles can be made use of. As it is very correctly said that the next big thing is really small, and that applies in the best possible way to nanotechnology. See you in the next video with more details about nanoparticles.